Welcome to the Pirate Skills Meetup, this time all about getting started with LinkedIn ads. I'm super excited about this topic, as I pretty am sure I am about every topic, because we discuss nerdy marketing stuff here at Pirate Skills, and the impact of LinkedIn ads for me was simply like lights on, lights off. Just let me show you real-term results from the Pirate Skills page. This is just from the content promotion campaign, not even talking about performance campaign. You see the orange line is ads on, ads off. The blue line is our organic reach based on 1,300 followers. We get about 8,000 impressions over 30 days. Could be better, but we are growing slowly. So page growth on LinkedIn is pretty slow usually until you hit the 10,000 and above range. Then the organic growth picks up. But you can see that if we turn on the ads, the impressions are 5 times as high. So now it's your guess, how much are we spending to reach this in the last 30 days? How much did we spend to get 5 times more impressions than organically? You're probably thinking LinkedIn ads, that's super expensive, but nope, let me show you the other campaigns that did that. It was just €233 and we got an additional 18,000 impressions. So I really just love this result, and it shows you that using LinkedIn, especially when you don't have tens of thousands of followers on LinkedIn, is a way just to switch on the light, switch on the reach. And I really want to share today my best practices, what I've learned so far. And I'm nowhere near the end of the journey to master LinkedIn ads, but I want to share with you what has worked for me and in the projects that I work with. So just to give you a brief overview of what we are up to today. First of all, I want to clarify for you, like, are LinkedIn ads right for you? Why am I convinced that it is a great fit for certain B2B businesses and even B2C businesses? And then we're going to talk about the thing that makes LinkedIn ads so super interesting, that those are the B2B targeting options that are simply not available anywhere else, like company growth, company size, job functions, job titles. Yes, some of that stuff is available on Facebook, but they are simply not the people with the right mindset in this moment to do business with you. So then I want to make it very concrete and build one content promotion campaign with you step by step. And at the end, we're going to talk about the more advanced stuff on how to optimize your LinkedIn ads by, for example, implementing conversion tracking and how to interpret the results that you might see in your ads manager. And as always, at the end, the LinkedIn Q&A. Please feel free to ask your questions through Slido or through the comments if you watch this later, and we will get into the comments and answer them there. Who am I? I'm Ben. I'm the founder of Pirate Skills. I am a nerdy marketer at heart. I've started founding companies in 2008, just couldn't stop since then. And I used to think that LinkedIn ads was super expensive. Who can afford those €6 clicks? But once I saw what you could do with content promotion and in combination with a good customer lifetime value, those clicks can be really worth it. So let's dig into that. The first question is, are LinkedIn ads right for you? So all of us have seen LinkedIn ads. The most dominant form are just promoted posts that look as if they are part of the newsfeed. They look pretty normal, like every other post. Some of them have like call to actions button below it, like this Shopify ad that you can see on the screen right now. And those are all coming out of the LinkedIn Campaign Manager. And here you can see a couple of my own ads. We use LinkedIn ads to promote our video cuts that we have. And here you can see how much money we spent in the past 30 days on each of the posts, how much reach we got, how much clicks, views, how much percent was clicked. And we're going to go into this a little bit deeper. But as with Facebook ads, you have this campaign manager backend from which you can control everything, decide how much you want to spend and where and to whom you want to show what in which format. So for who is this good for? I think LinkedIn ads are a really good fit for you if you have a customer lifetime value that is higher than 500 euro, that means if what people are buying either costs or leave you more than 500 euro that you can reinvest into marketing. Anything below that is possible, but it's really hard because it's so expensive to get traffic off LinkedIn. So that usually includes most B2B services that are in most cases beyond the 500 euro mark per service in a given time frame. And what also works if you have professional services for end customers, but those again should be priced at least over a period of 3 to 6 months in at least at 500 euro, ideally above. So that might even give you ideas on how to do a more high-priced offer that you can then position for businesses or CEOs and career hunters on LinkedIn. So one of the best reasons to go to LinkedIn is because you can do very specific targeting. For example, like job title targeting, functions, industry, company size, etc. And if your business is really looking for those abilities to target, if you're thinking in those dimensions, this is also a very good sign that LinkedIn is the shit for you. So, and one last thing, LinkedIn doesn't work very well if you just have to sell off stuff. Yeah, if you have a widget, even if it costs 500 euro, you just want to sell it. Hasn't been working, at least for me, so well. It's more focused on, it works way better if you go for lead generation, lead nurturing, trust building, and then selling stuff. Yeah, can be completely automated, but doesn't need to be. Can be absolutely high touch, professional account-based marketing or sales. Yeah, but direct selling, not working so well. Focus on lead generation. Yeah, that's the sweet spot here. So we usually like to take a real-world case study. During the last 4 meetups, we used MONDAY.ROCKS as a case study just to make it more real, to think about why is LinkedIn ads a good fit for them. So they are an app that helps you to manage your teamwork more successfully. And you can check them out at Monday.ROCKS. They are a startup from Düsseldorf, Germany. And for them, they are mostly focusing on people who are working in HR or team leaders or the CEOs of the company. And those people might be very sensitive to the topic of how their team is working together, what makes them tick, what is a good personality type structure to add to your team. And so I think they're thinking in company size, or how many employees does a company have to have a need for such an app. They think about company growth, for example. And so this is a really great fit, because even though the entry price is around the 300 euro mark, it's very likely that multiple people from one company want to join and get access to this app. And they also have a consulting backend, which goes way beyond the 500 euro mark, and that makes it also very, very valuable for them to really build not only their page, but each individual team member as a powerful influencer on LinkedIn. So, but as I said in other meetups before, the requirement is that you have a LinkedIn company page. If you don't have one, you have to create one right away, because you cannot promote the post from your personal profile. I don't know why LinkedIn has made this decision, but it's simply a fact that it's only possible for your campaign. For me, I really prefer working 80% of my time on the profile compared to the company pages. But LinkedIn ads are a great argument to really go and care for your company page and push content there. So the first thing that you have to do is to create a LinkedIn page and then create an advertising account. So what do you need to do for that? On every company page, you can click in the top right corner on this work burger menu, and then it shows you a little tab saying advertising. And this advertising tab, if you don't have an account, usually leads you to their onboarding page for LinkedIn ads. Just sign up there, and it's really a simple process. If you already have a LinkedIn account or are invited into any other, you will see the overview of your LinkedIn ad accounts. And if you want more information, if you want to see what LinkedIn is saying about their ads and opportunities, I put that link on the slides. And if you have downloaded the slides, you can just click on the link and it leads you immediately there. So again, understanding what a good fit for LinkedIn is also depends on your expectations. So I really want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. And let me give you an example of what I think is a reasonable starter budget for LinkedIn ads. So we have 1,500 euro per month. These are 50 euros per day. The actual minimum on LinkedIn is 10 euros per day, but it's really hard to learn on that minimum budget. It's really good enough for the content promotion, but not for any type of performance campaigns. So what do you get for 1,500 euro? You can expect 300 clicks. It's not Facebook. For Facebook, I would expect 1,500 clicks and more because click prices are usually below 1 euro. And even in B2B, that means you have to consider that you are going to pay like $5 per click. And I've seen $4 and I've seen $12. And I would say 5 is a reasonable expectation at the beginning. At a normal, decent click-through rate of 1%, that means 1,000 people see it, 10 people click, that's a 1% click-through rate. So those 300 people, let's just assume they all land on your landing page because your landing page is loading awesomely fast and nobody just jumped off. 20 people at a 7% conversion rate may become leads. You offer a nice lead magnet, offer a webinar, offer a free call, something like that. It is reasonable to expect that you can generate a qualified, marketing qualified lead at around $75. Yes, it's possible to do it cheaper, but I've seen it more expensive more often than not. So a 7% conversion rate is not unreasonable from traffic to leads. Then maybe you get to sell 3 people your product. Yeah, depending on how high touch your sales cycle is. I think 3 out of 20 can be done strongly with automations, and maybe with a human involved, you can get above that. But even if you do it at a large scale, going beyond 50% conversion rate from people who are interested in what you're selling and actually selling it to them, that is already pretty awesome. Yeah. So a 500 euro cost per customer, yeah, is really reasonable. And that makes you see why the 500 euro margin or customer lifetime value is so essential, because if you don't get that, it's just not fun, yeah, on LinkedIn. But if you're beyond that, you can have a lot of fun on a channel that is not that oversaturated yet, like Facebook ads, like Google ads. And it's a place where you can really stand out and be unique, and where people are in the mindset to do actual business. Is the most fun part about LinkedIn. Social network where people want to work together and work on their careers together and do business together. It's a great place to be in 2020. So if that fits for you, then you are a good match for LinkedIn ads. Let's take that as a given. What's the next step? Now you have to consider, who do you want to target in your B2B audience? Let's just assume that you're primarily in a B2B segment. And then we look at targeting options, how to promote stuff, how to set up advanced pixel tracking and that kind of stuff in the upcoming videos. And if that got any value already, then please head over to YouTube. It would be awesome if you'd leave us a sub. And let's check out if already some questions have come in. So I already see some vote. Let me show you. We already have some upvoted questions here, but we do not have additional questions yet. So head over to slido.com, enter the code R, just leave that tab open somewhere or on your phone, and please leave at least one question at the end of the live stream. We usually have like 20 questions over there that are nicely upvoted. So please do that. Cool. All right, the second topic. targeting your B2B audience on LinkedIn is really amazing. Yeah, let me show you what you can do on LinkedIn and why I'm so excited about this. So on LinkedIn, if you have your campaign set up, you're going to be, you get the question like, do you want to target people through like audience attributes, like people who have been on your website already, saw your videos, are in a lookalike audience, maybe you uploaded some files or have a connection with your CRM. Those are the matched audiences. And the other thing that you see on the screen are the attributes. So let's go through the options of what you can target and what I'm particularly excited about. So I would say like the most difficult option to choose is uploading your contact list or a campaign list. You can upload a CSV file with a template, and LinkedIn will try to match those people. I think with company lists, it is not as difficult and risky in terms of data privacy policies, but with contacts, you of course have to have consent in order to do that. So that is something that I would consider, especially if you have a long list of companies, for example. It needs to be at least 300 people, but it can be as large as 100,000 people or companies. That's one way. The second way is retargeting visitors or of your website, people who have seen your videos, or people who have interacted with your LinkedIn lead generation forms. A third way is to use any of the above categories. Let's say the people who have visited your website and have become a lead over the past 30 days. Now you can create a lookalike audience, just as you can do it on Facebook and Instagram ads. And LinkedIn will look at the people in the area that you want to target and match the most similar people into one audience based on the people who have already become your lead. Very interesting. And then we are in the deep end of the audience attributes. And I think this is where I am most excited. All of the above, it can be pretty technical and might have some hinges on the data privacy side, but the audience attributes are completely delivered for you by LinkedIn. So what can we do? So let's hit that other tab while creating your campaign and switch to the audience attributes here. So this shows you already that you have categories like company, demographics, education, job interests, and stuff like interest groups and traits, very similar to what you have on Facebook. So what is exciting here? You got the boring stuff, the obvious one like age and gender. Be careful not to use them if you do any kind of job listing. That is in most countries illegal to discriminate by age and gender. But for lead generation, that is absolutely viable to target just the age and genders that are most likely to convert. Yeah, and you will get all of those results afterwards, and you can decide like you want to focus on men, women, younger, older, or a mixture for different product lineups that you have. Then the company stuff. You can choose exactly which industry people are in and what size the company has in terms of number of employees. I think the company size is one of my favorites. And there's a little special one called company growth. How much employee growth do they have year over year, which can be an indicator of a booming business or a decreasing business that might need other services. Then, of course, you have education levels like degree, from which school they are from, and experiences. And here again, very special in the LinkedIn world, the job title and job functions. I would say this is the most important targeting type combined with company size that I use most frequently. Let's say for our example of Monday.ROCKS, HR managers with companies that are growing at least 25% per year and starting at a company size of 50 to maybe 500 people. Yeah, that would be already an awesome targeting group that is not possible to do anywhere else but on LinkedIn. And the interests, there are the normal interest groups that you might also be familiar with on Facebook. But again, here a special one. If you go for groups, you are finally able to retarget anybody who has joined any group. Maybe this is a bit limited. It needs to be a bit larger in terms of audience, of group size, so not the very small ones. But you can just search for the group names and you will find them. And this is a feature that I would love Facebook would provide, but I don't know how. Yeah. There used to be some hacks where like user IDs got extracted from LinkedIn groups that you could then retarget. But since GDPR, nobody's willing to take those risks anymore. Yeah. So already you can see that the targeting options are amazing. And let's apply this to the concrete case study. What are ideas for Monday Rocks? Of course, as I mentioned, job title based, like team leader, like head of, like HR manager. Then it could be job functions. It could be company size, company growth based, or the more advanced stuff, retargeting people who have visited their websites, specific websites in the past 7, 14, 30, 90 days. I have to say that the date range is not as detailed as on Facebook or on Google. So you pretty much just can say like people have visited all websites or this specific one, but you're not that flexible with the date range. But where you're pretty flexible is with video views, and you don't even need the insights tag on it. And that means all the targeting is in the hands of LinkedIn, and they have to also manage that data privacy risk. Yeah, so video views means anybody who has watched your video for more than 25% can be targeted over a certain period of time. I think it's like 30, 60, 90, 120 days. So this already should give you some very interesting ideas on how you could target your people on LinkedIn. But if you have any questions about that, leave that at Slido. And if you want to grab the slides, as always, we have them uploaded on pirateSkills.com. The link is in the description here. And if you got any value out of this, I would really appreciate if you guys would sub to YouTube. We're working on our first 500 subscribers, and I hope the growth goes faster after that. So thank you for subbing and liking the video over there. So that covers essentially are LinkedIn ads a good fit for you, and to give you some ideas of targeting options that you have over there. So the next step is to make it concrete and to actually create a campaign. And the first basic campaign everybody should do is a content promotion one. Let me tell you about it in the next video. So let's check out if we have additional questions here. Oh yeah, we got 5 questions. Renee asked, worth it an ad that directs leads to a landing page with a form for a strategy session for cold traffic that don't meet yet, or rather lead gen and trust building? I would say it's absolutely worth it. I would try the trust building landing page, but let's keep those questions coming. I need more questions and I need more upvotes. Thank you, Renee, for breaking the ice of answering the first question during the live stream. More to come, more to come. And again, if you want to just discuss, come join us, hang out at Discord. This is cool because it stays up even after the live stream. And you can join us there. You can meet the other people. I know we are all missing real world interaction. This is the closest this gets. Yeah, so hop over to Discord and see you there. All right, the next part. Promoting your best LinkedIn content is, I believe, the best starter strategy for LinkedIn ads. I've shown you in the first video of this series already the impact of just turning LinkedIn ads on, and you can see that I usually have, with my 1,800 page followers on Pirate Skills, 8,000 impressions per month based on 12 posts that I did, better that Christina, who's sitting over there, did. And if she turns on LinkedIn ads and spends $230, she gets an additional 18,000 impressions. That's an incredible lever to put on. Imagine what you would get in terms of employee time for 233 euros. This gives her some superpowers, and I really encourage you to do it. But how do we do it? So let's just set up this campaign. Let me just check the connection. It seems to be some wild stuff going on, and the screen goes on and off sometimes. So let's set up a real content promotion campaign. If you have your ad manager on LinkedIn open, it gives you this big task to start a new campaign in the top left corner. If you click that, then you see that you have to choose a campaign group. LinkedIn, for some wild reason, has chosen to go a different way than Google and Facebook, and to group campaigns in some loose shells. Or you can also do some bid management, but I just use them to structure them. I usually have one campaign that I call like content promotion. Yeah, and all of my content promotion campaigns land in this group. So after that, you have to make a very important decision. You have to decide what kind of campaign type you want to run. Here you can see all the options. On the left-hand side, you have the awareness campaigns. Awareness, essentially, you tell LinkedIn, please give me the cheapest reach I can get. I want to spend as little for 1,000 impressions as possible. In the middle, in the consideration phase, the website traffic one tells LinkedIn, please give me the cheapest clicks that you can, and give me the people that are most likely to click on ads. And the same goes, of course, for engagement, the cheapest engagements and likes and follows. There is even a follow call to action on the engagement campaign type. And I think especially for the beginning and for this type of campaign that we are going to set up, engagement is the best fit, because it doesn't force you to have an external link in your posts, which usually increases the cost a lot of promoting posts that lead people away from LinkedIn. Imagine you would be the owner of LinkedIn and everybody would just send people away from LinkedIn. You wouldn't like that. Yeah. So you reward the people who engage with people on LinkedIn. And that is something very important to understand with the content marketing strategy and with the ads. So the third way is to go for video views in this consideration objective types, and this looks for the cheapest cost per video view. A video view on LinkedIn is already with 2 seconds, which is really wild. Most platforms are at least 3 seconds and tending towards 15, but LinkedIn goes for 2-second views. And on the right hand side, where you have the more advanced stuff like lead generation, this is the lead gen forms that I just mentioned before, where you have a form on LinkedIn when you press a call to action, and it's already pre-filled with the information that people provided on LinkedIn. This can be a very efficient way to generate leads when you don't want to build landing pages over there, but then you have to get those leads out of LinkedIn into your CRM or your email system. For example, with Zapier. And of course, we have website conversions. As you can, if you know me, this is my favorite type to promote. This is where you tell people, tell LinkedIn, I don't care about the click price so much, just give me the cheapest cost per conversion, let's say a lead. Yeah, give me the cheapest lead price. And LinkedIn will then shift the budget towards the ads and audiences that get you the cheapest leads. Makes very much sense. And job applications are a special category because there are some different requirements and fields to be filled out. And this is why this is the last one. So in this case, we choose engagement, yeah, because we want to be able to promote any type of post, not just the ones with external links, and we don't want to force external links in the content promotion. So this is the first step. After that, you have to decide who to target. We talked about that in the last video of this series. And this is the place where you choose, for example, the company size, the job functions, the area, the region which you want to target, the city or countries. This is where you decide what type of bids you're going to make, like how much money you want to spend. And then you have to decide, and this is a bit weird with LinkedIn ads, you have to decide on the ad format. So you have the typical single image plus text. I think this is the most common format for most LinkedIn posts, or the video ad. And then there are some special ones like carousels with multiple pictures, or the conversational ads where you go into Messenger, or just the follow ads for the page. So the thing is that you usually have to set up a campaign for the image ads and for the video ads, if you do videos at all, because once you have chosen image ads, you will not be able to select any video posts in that campaign. Let me show you to make it more concrete, but just understand that you have to create a campaign for each of the two dominant formats, which is images and videos on LinkedIn. So, and then you have to decide on a daily or lifetime budget. No matter what you do, the minimum, and this is also different with LinkedIn than most other ad platforms, the minimum is 10 euros per day. Facebook and Instagram, you can start at 1 euro, or with Google. Does it make sense to start with 1 euro? I doubt it. So I think 10 euros is pretty reasonable. And that means for a content marketing campaign to calculate at least 300 euro per month if you have it run on 30 days a month. That is pretty reasonable, and I think that's pretty standard. And you should get the value back more than with any other performance measures here. Yeah, so because you just increase your reach, especially if you are below 10,000 followers. Very, very interesting. So what then? Now you have to create or choose the LinkedIn content. Since this is a promotion campaign for the post that you have already done on your page, you can go to the upper right corner and just browse your existing content and choose that. If you don't have that, you can create posts over there. But it's not like Facebook where they show up in the feed. They're just going to be dark posts on LinkedIn. So this is what happens when I click on browse and I just see a list of all of my past content, and I usually tend to promote the last 3 to 5 posts and just keep on rotating those posts like once a week. I kick the old ones out and I put some new ones in. And with the old ones, of course, I check the performance. If the normal post happens to create good traffic, have good engagement, or even generate conversions like leads, and the price is right, then this post is a winner. And it gets its own campaign, its own budget, and it's ready for lead generation. So that way you can always test in your whole content marketing strategy what kind of posts actually create results and engagement and which ones are just boring. Yeah, and that is very hard to find out if you have a very small audience, because not enough people see it. You get a lot of traction on profiles, but getting traction on company posts, that's so much harder than on profiles. So give it a little boost and then you will see immediate feedback. So then you see a summary and you can launch your campaigns. Congratulations, you are one of the unicorns here, and we need the magic flair happening here. Thank you very much, Matti, for putting that in. Amazing. So that's it. You have decided that LinkedIn is right for you. You understood some of the basic targeting options, and now you know how to create a promotion campaign. This is the basic setup that you can do tonight. Yeah, sit down, enter your credit card, decide on the minimum budget, the past 3 posts, and go for it. But what if you want more? If you want conversion tracking, if you want retargeting, if you want to learn how to optimize that campaign, that's coming up in the next part. So again, if you have questions, I know this might be a lot of input in a very short time. You can head over to Slido and just keep on asking questions. We get an additional questions about private profiles and content, and keep on upvoting those questions, because we will answer all those questions at the end of this meetup. Just go to slido.com, enter the code R, and you will end there and you will be able to upvote and enter your own question. Very simple. Thank you very much for doing that. And if you haven't already, jump over to our YouTube and give it a sub and a like. We have uploaded all of the videos of the past couple of years there. It's a huge resource. It just still doesn't have the audience size that I by now can honestly say I believe it deserves. Yeah, so use it as a resource. It has 0 strings attached. You don't even have to register for anything there. Yeah, it just takes a little while for them to upload there, while on the website on pirateskills.com, we upload the videos immediately, yeah, a day after the meetup. So that's it. The last part. So optimizing your LinkedIn ads is the holy grail. Just spending some money on ads is pretty easy, but to get them to perform, to be cash flow positive, or to get the engagement goals that you're looking for, you need to analyze your campaign results. And as you can see here, with our example from Monday Rocks, not all posts are created equal. They are very, very different in terms of their performance. Let's take a closer look at the results we see here. So here we have 4 campaigns. This is a time frame in which 700 euros were spent on different ads, and we can see the top 4 ones that received between 300 and 36 euros. And you can see that the cost per results are very different. We have 2 different campaign types. We have video view campaigns and engagement. And you can see that the average CPM, cost to reach 1,000 people, is 11 euro. This is incredibly cheap for LinkedIn. So why is this so cheap? This is cheap because Sophie, who did those ads, really focused on putting out great, non-boring content. And this is how you get rewarded by those social media platforms. You don't put out boring ads, you get cheaper reach. This is even a typical price as you would see it on Facebook, yeah, in a B2B environment. So, but cheap reach is not the only name in town. What you want is actual click performance. You want to see how many people click through. Now, not all of those posts had external links in it. So you can see that there are great differences in the click-through rate of those posts, which gives you an idea of how engaging and how committed the people are who are watching your ads and what they do, how many people react, how many people like, how many people share and comment. And from that, you can learn so much about what your audience wants and doesn't want, even if you don't care about the whole performance aspect of making ads work. Ads is a great sounding board, and a field where you can experiment, where you can just turn off a post if you don't like it anymore. But what we want to do is we want to look beyond clicks. What we want is deeper engagement. Here on this slide, you can still see the video views. How long was that video and how much percentage was watched of that video. But what we actually want as growth marketers is to see the results that we get beyond the platform and beyond the click. And that's why the next step is to set up real conversion tracking with the good old Google Tag Manager. We talked about Google Tag Manager in the last meetup. So if you missed the meetup, just go back to pirateskills.com or to the YouTube channel, and we have all of the introductory videos to Google Tag Manager up there. It's 1 hour really learning it as fast as possible. So how do you create conversions and retargeting audience? It's all hidden in the account assets section of your LinkedIn Ads Manager, as you can see on the screenshot. Yeah, you just press on create assets, and there you can already see, oh yeah, we can create an insights tag, and we need to install it. So what's this insights tag? Let's take a look. So if you LinkedIn provides you with a pixel just like the most other platforms do. Like the Google Analytics is a pixel, the Facebook pixel is a pixel, and the LinkedIn Insights tag is a pixel. That is a piece of JavaScript that lands on your website and that gives information if the user consented back to the platforms. And this is very important because then the platforms are able to tell you which campaigns are working and which are not. And what the platforms can do as well is optimize and choose the audience groups for those conversion goals. So there are great benefits to do it. And if you can live with the GDPR concerns that are involved, and I can, as long as I do really proactive consent and give people an option to opt out and don't just load the pixel, then I think you are on the good side of marketing. So here you can see that there is already a pixel there, that it received a signal 2 hours ago. And if you don't have this set up already, you can just create the pixel on that screen and you're ready to go. But then you need to install it. You can install the pixel however you want. You can hard code it, but I am a sucker for Google Tag Manager, as you noticed in the last meetup. So this is the place where I want to manage all of my tags. I don't want to hard code every single piece on every page that I upload. Even if I use a CRM, I really prefer the flexibility that I get through a tag management system. It doesn't need to be Google's, but that's simply my own preference. So Google Tag Manager is there, and there is a very detailed descriptions and how-tos on the LinkedIn page, as you can see here on what to do. But let me show you. Yeah, let me show you how this works in Google Tag Manager land, again with our case study example of MONDAY.ROCKS, the B2B teamwork app. So here you can see the screenshot from the MONDAY.ROCKS Tag Manager. And you can already see that there are a lot of tags and events set up for people, and what they do on the website is being tracked as long as they consented. And at the very bottom, there is the good old LinkedIn Insights tag. But let's say we want to create it completely new. Then you create on, I want to have a new tag. And then you choose the LinkedIn Insights tag out of the drop-down menu. Google Tag Manager has everything pretty much set up for you. All you need to do is to enter your partner ID there and say, fix it to specific domains so nobody can spam this pixel. And just tell Google Tag Manager that you want it to fire on all landing pages or all websites that you think that it makes sense. For me, it's usually all websites. So that's as easy as it gets, yeah, for Google Tag Manager and installing the Insights tag. So no big deal. And if you feel it's a big deal, you probably don't have a Google Tag Manager installed. Google Tag Manager just avoids this whole "this is a big deal" thing. So go back to the last meetup, watch that, get convinced, get your team on the boat that the developers should not waste their resources by installing event tags. Yeah, that should be done by us. So now we are ready. We have the pixel on the website, everything is live, and now we can define the conversion event. Again, in the assets, account assets tab in your account ads manager on LinkedIn, you click on conversions, and you can then just define a new conversion. And most of the time you're making a decision based on the URL. You say like, oh, somebody landed on /thank-you. Yeah, in this case, we have a URL MONDAY.ROCKS /Terminbuchung, which means like appointment booking. So if somebody has booked an appointment, bam, it gets a conversion event. This is what you usually want to do. This is what René was asking about. Yeah, can you do strategy calls? Yeah, this is exactly what we have been doing here. So you can do it, and then you can decide like attribution windows, all the fancy stuff. But the most important step is to decide on which URL you want to say like, this is a special moment in the user journey, and we call that a conversion. And from that time on, it shows up in your ads manager, which is a huge boon for interpreting your results. While before you were focused on getting cheap reach, cheap clicks, you can forget about this and just look for low cost per acquisition. If you go beyond that, you could even connect it to potential future revenue and look at it from a return of advertising spend basis. But you get this only when you configure your Insights tag and define conversions on your website. So I think that's a great achievement. Congratulations, unicorn, awesome flair for you guys. So I think this was a lot, and it's really helpful to go through this step by step again after this meetup. So just get over to getpirategoods.com/LinkedIn-ads. This is where we put up all the slide decks as a PDF for free to download, and where we upload the video afterwards. So, and if you got any other value out of this, and you haven't already, if you have already, thank you. Go over to YouTube and sub. we created a short link at get.pirateskills.com/YouTube, which will just send you to our channel page. And I would really appreciate if you help us to hit those first 500 subscribers. Really looking forward to that moment. So that's it. We have discussed whether or not YouTube ads are, LinkedIn ads are right for you, how to target people, how to create a simple promotion campaign, and then how to do the more advanced setup for the conversion events. This is the same way how you create retargeting audiences, just a simple extra step. And we are now ready to go into the Q&A segment. So your questions about LinkedIn ads are going to be answered right here. We already have some questions lined up, but you can also, if you watch this afterwards in the Q&A segment, for example, on YouTube, you can ask your questions in the comments and we will go there and keep those questions updated. So thank you everybody who has already provided questions over here. We have this app called slido.com. Let me just check this out. Yep, here we are. And we already got 7 questions there. Go over, add new questions. And this is also the place where we ask you guys for your feedback so we can learn like what kind of topics you liked, if you like this style of presentation. So let me start the NPS scoring, and I would ask you to hop on and to fill out this little poll. You just need to make a little choice. Like, how likely would you recommend this event to a friend or colleague on a scale from 0? No, I would never recommend this, to 10, yes, definitely. And this gives us an idea how valuable this meetup was compared to the other ones. So please hop over to slido.com, enter the code R, and you're ready to vote. Be honest, all the 10s are absolutely appreciated, but all the 5s and 6s are also tolerated. Yeah, so far we got 1 8, 4 10s. Thank you very much for the positive feedback, and please also let us know if there is anything we can do to improve this meetup. Yeah, you can hit me up on Discord or write in the channel. And we also have this topics section where you can just leave those reviews. Yeah, let me just start the topics sections. And here you can see, you might have been switched from the questions over here to the topics. This is where you can just add suggestions on how to improve the experience for you. I will just leave this up. We will go into the Q&A, but you can switch from the poll, give the NPS score feedback, and you can get the ideas. But we are going to dive now into the questions. I'm already very thankful for you guys for giving us feedback and providing at least 8 questions. I hope there are more coming in. But the first questions, the most upvoted one, let's start with René's questions. 3 upvotes on this one. So René, is it worth it to create an ad that is supposed to create direct leads on a landing page for a strategy call? So a strategy call has been a very popular tool to get people on the phone to see if they are a good fit, and then to sell them your product if it works. And the strategy call is usually for free. I think the word strategy call has been overused, so I would definitely rename that. And yes, I think you could go for cold traffic. It does actually work in multiple projects that I know, but you don't have to. You can have a series of, let's say, 3 videos where you give value and explain people what you're doing, and you just do the strategy call ad to the people who have watched at least 25% of that video. If that video is just a minute long, then they only need to watch like 15 seconds and you can already retarget them. And if it's a 10-second video, of course, 2.5 seconds, but that might be overdoing it a little bit and people might be unqualified. So create a couple of videos, like 3, where you give value without inviting them to a strategy call, and then retarget the people who have watched those videos. I explained that in the past section on how to do that. And if you have questions about it, yeah, then we can just talk about it and I'll show you. So my opinion, it's worth it. So then the next 3 upvote question is, what's the minimum monthly budget to get started on LinkedIn ads? Per definition, if you do an everyday ad schedule, is 300 euros. I think for content promotion, this is a good starting point, a reasonable minimum budget. But if you want to actually create leads, and as I showed you in my examples in the series before, a cost per acquisition of 50 to 75, 100 euro is reasonable. So if you only spend 300 euros a month, then it's really hard to learn what kind of ads are working and what not. And in this case, if you want to do lead generation, I recommend a 50 euro per day start. That means 1,500 euros per month as the starting point. Then let it prove to you that it's worth your investment over time, and then reinvest 20% of the extra revenue you have been making on top of those 1,500 euro. And then your budget grows month over month in a way that is completely aligned with your performance goals. Thank you for that question. So next questions. How do I get cheaper clicks on LinkedIn? I'm currently paying 5 to 10 euros per click at the moment. Yes, I hear these questions quite frequently. The thing is that LinkedIn traffic campaigns are simply that expensive. Yes, I've seen 2.50 euro clicks, but these come from exciting, cool ads. LinkedIn is rewarding you if people also engage with your ads and not just click your link. So make sure that you keep on experimenting with first of all, with the creative, what type of creative it is, if it's more focused on the video or on an image, on what type of text you have, if you want to have a call to action below, or if you want to have a link in the text above. There you really need to get it into the first like 2 or 3 lines of the text on mobile phones. So make sure that it's very click friendly and aim for a 1% click-through rate. If you're below that, you can still work on your creatives and work on your targeting, which is the second part. Experiment with small audiences. I'm talking 100,000 people compared to a larger audience of around 1 million, and see if your click prices go down with the larger audiences, which is usually my experience. But at the end, look at the cost per conversion on your website. This is the most important thing. Right, thank you for that question. So, should I go with the LinkedIn recommended CPC? No, the LinkedIn recommended CPC is just sheer madness. They usually suggest something like, here it's 3.57 euro, 7 euros, something. It depends on the audience that you have targeted, and I just completely ignore it. As long as I do get impressions, I will make that decision. Yeah, and not LinkedIn. And I like to go way below the recommended cost per click price on LinkedIn. If you have an exceedingly high customer lifetime value, I'm talking you're selling services that are worth 10, 50,000 per year, you get lots of money up front, and dude, pay the click prices. Yeah, then this is worth it. Imagine you're making 10K for a sale and you're willing to invest, let's say 10% of that 10K back into acquiring new customers, which is absolutely reasonable, I think. Then you have 110 euro clicks to convert the next customer. Yeah, so think about it in terms of the value you're getting, and then reconsider what's reasonable. But most of the time, the recommendations by LinkedIn are just ridiculous. All right, next one. LinkedIn ads versus Google ads versus Facebook and Instagram ads. When would you choose what? So I think the easiest one is the Google world. And we're talking about search. Yeah, let's not open the display app and YouTube bottleneck. Yeah, but when should you do Google ads for search ads? You can only do Google ads if there is substantial volume of interest. Yeah, over there. If people are searching relevant keywords for you in a reasonable amount, I'm talking like 10,000 times a month and above, then you can consider search ads. Otherwise, you're always depending on people already knowing that they have a problem. If you can't do this and you need to first push that, you are better off in push mediums like LinkedIn ads and Facebook and Instagram ads, where you can create awareness for the problem and then later go into then later convert them through searches. Yeah. So, and then the question is LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram ads. In a lot of cases, Facebook and Instagram outperform LinkedIn ads. So we need to put the lights back on. Christina, could you maybe hit the light switch so we are not standing here in the dark? Yeah, you can say hello to Christina here. Hey guys. Oh, that's awesome. Actually, not the light that we've been looking for. Hey, this is the one that the sensor gives us. Give me a second to switch off our beautiful blue scene. But it's not connecting. Give me a second, guys. So let's look for the Pirate Skills light Wi-Fi. And we obviously have to set the timer of the motion sensor to something more reasonable here. So, all right, we are back in business. Let's choose our amazing blue scene. Ta-da! We're back. Thank you guys for waiting. So, Ali, I hope you can cut this out. So, LinkedIn versus Instagram ads. Facebook and Instagram ads have been outperforming LinkedIn in surprising amount of time. So do not discount Facebook ads for B2B. It is surprising how well they work, and especially because the CPC is more in the €1 realm. Yeah, you can afford it to be worse, 5 times worse than LinkedIn ads. And you will still get the same cost per lead. But investing into LinkedIn as a platform, building up your company page, that makes it so worthwhile going with the LinkedIn ads route. So if you have large search volume and the competition is reasonable, Google Ads creates excellent quality traffic. Facebook and Instagram ads create way cheaper traffic, but you need to see if the quality is good enough. And LinkedIn is really for the high quality traffic, where you also have an intention beyond creating traffic, where you want to build your company page, where you want to build that reach and that network. All right, so I consider that a question answered. All right, Marco is asking, I use my private profile to network and content marketing. My company profile is barely used and has very few followers. Can I also use target attributes from private profile? So first of all, you've done everything right. Focus on your profile first. This is very important. I think my personal profile has around 8,000 followers, while the company has 1,300. And for the considerable, like reasonable future, this relationship is going to stay that way, because personal profiles simply grow way faster on LinkedIn. So no worries there. But you don't have to have a lot of followers on your company page. The ads are completely indifferent to the number of followers you do have. But it definitely helps you to get more followers. So the question, can I also use target attributes from private profiles? You cannot use something like, please target everybody who is a 1st or 2nd degree connection of my profile. That doesn't work. You can actually target followers of different company profiles, and you're completely free which ones, but not from private profiles. But all of the normal attributes a private profile has, like a job title, like the function, like the company size, all that good stuff, the skills, you can use all of that in the targeting with the post on your company profile when you do a promotion. Hope that answers your question. If you need clarification, just ask another question. Cool, we have two more questions, so keep them coming. So when is it best to use the audience expansion option? So this is an option. Let's say you're targeting HR managers in the Cologne area in company sizes between 50 and 500. Now they get this neat little option to expand your audiences, and LinkedIn is promising that we'll only put in more people there if the goal of the campaign is being reached at a lower price than what you're currently already having, the given audience. That very much depends on the campaign time that you picked. Imagine you picked website traffic, and you're telling LinkedIn like go for the cheapest clicks, and then you picked a high level audience, and then you allow LinkedIn to do the audience expansion. Then we'll give you all of the shitty people who are creating cheap clicks. Yeah, so this is not what you want. Same goes for engagement campaigns. But where this works beautifully is if you go for conversion campaigns. If you decide a lead is a lead, yeah, and if they made the commitment, went to a survey, have been pre-vetted and then qualified and then called a lead, and then you use that as a conversion event. You can do zero targeting and still let LinkedIn do some magic for you. It works extremely well on Facebook, and the problem is on LinkedIn to do zero targeting, you have to use a lot of money. Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend it. So only use audience expansions, in my experience, if you do either conversion campaigns or lead forms. So last question for tonight. Do I need consent for LinkedIn, the LinkedIn Insights tags? As of my current understanding of the GDPR laws, and I'm speaking for Germany, and I'm not qualified to talk about it, but this is my opinion, is that every time a pixel creates a unique user ID, for example, to retarget a person, or has that ability, yes, you need proactive consent, and you cannot fire that pixel before a user has said, yes, I want to be tracked for the rest of my life. So yes is the answer to that question. Those were the questions for tonight. Thank you everybody who has contributed. If you have more questions, feel free to use Discord or use the comment section wherever you're watching this. And you're very welcome to join us on the next meetup. This time it's the last one of the cycle, and the last one where we'll look into the case study, the B2B case studies. Here we're going to look at all the options that we have to optimize your B2B lead generation funnel. We are going to talk about what you can optimize on your landing page through A/B tests, email marketing, subject line tests, your ad creatives, how you can improve the user experience, some tools that are really helpful to give people a better, smoother user experience. If that sounds cool to you, then now use the time to go to getpirateskills.com/optimizing-leads and just register for a free ticket. And as I said, this is the end of a cycle and the end of a quarter. As you can see here at Pirate Skills, we focus on 6 core topics. And the purple one is the last one. Today we talked about the blue one, about traffic generation. And the next one is conversion rate optimization. And then we go back to the roadmap, and we're going to talk about a B2C model this time, and look on how to build a B2C business strategy there, how to do content marketing in that area, maybe even talk about TikTok. I'm super excited about that, but not competent enough yet to talk about it. But maybe you know somebody who wants to talk here. And then we go through those cycles again. Yeah, so I would be really excited if you would join us there. And if you want to go deeper, we also have a series of workshops, one workshop for each of those 6 core skills. Yeah, today we delivered the one about traffic generation, and we completely set up a LinkedIn campaign, for example. Yeah, and users can decide, hey, do you want to make a Facebook setup, an Instagram setup, a Twitter, a LinkedIn, whatever you guys like. So if that was cool for you, you know what I would love? I would like you to sub on the YouTube channel and leave a like and a comment on this video. That would be really awesome. And after this stream, of course, you are free to connect with the other people through our Discord community. And please use the Discord community between the meetups to ask your growth marketing questions. That's what this is for. And that's the end of this meetup. Thank you everybody for joining. See you the next time. Bye bye.